Welcome to Double Shot of Penguins. He's Chris Halleck. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. And we want nothing to do with discussing this game last night.
Well, what we definitely wanted to do was to make sure, I mean, we're here a couple minutes early because we definitely wanted to make sure we weren't even a tenth of a second late to get the show started today.
That's enough out of you. Say goodbye to the Ducks for the year. Don't even want to think about that. We have other stuff to discuss today. You know what we're not going to do? I'll tell you this. What we're not going to do is get into what happened in that final 17.5 seconds. We're not going to do that, Chris.
Why?
Because if we did, we'd have to revisit that Dan Muse put offensive players on the rink when all you needed to do was win the draw, dump it into one corner, and go chase it with a bunch of Connor Dewars and Nola Charis, right?
All you have to do. I mean,
all you have to do.
I mean,
Pee-wees.
I was just about to say, like, you know, I remember like the first time I started playing hockey. Like I was already an adult by this point, you know, but you start learning team things. You start learning your basic 101s. When you clear the puck, don't do it through your own slot and all this, all the
crazy stuff,
all the basic stuff,
revolutionary, Scotty Bowman level,
right? You definitely, like, if you're trying to time waste, the corners are a great place to do it, and the corners at the other end of the rink are an even better place to do it.
They're your friend, huh?
Yeah, they sure are.
I like it. So you put the 5 offensive players out there. The coach would not admit that that was a mistake after the game, which I really didn't like. I think the world of what Muse has done to date.
Yeah, overall,
I thought that was not okay. That's just a mistake.
Yeah,
it's just a mistake.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it. He wins. Sid wins the draw.
Mm-hmm. Which is another part of this that just makes it kind of crazy.
Wait, Sid wins the draw. We're not talking about this game. Sid wins the draw. It goes back into the neutral zone.
Yeah.
Why did it go back into the neutral zone? Nobody knows, but it did. Even then, the puck ends up going back into the Anaheim, into the Anaheim zone.
Doesn't he curl around with like 10 seconds?
There's a defenseman for the Ducks who goes behind the Anaheim net with 7 seconds left in the game.
It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
Tommy Novak's up front. He does not angle the guy off. He does nothing whatsoever to discourage him from really anything in life. The pass comes up to whoever the child was that scored the goal. They're all children, those Ducks.
I was about to say they're the Mighty Ducklings, yeah.
So the guy catches the pass just outside the Pittsburgh blue line.
Right.
And he goes and he is approached by Brian Rust, who should now do what?
Anything. I mean,
anything.
Take a felony at that point. I mean, but
go to jail.
Yeah. No, seriously, like commit a penalty. 2-hand him until his legs fall off. Do everything you need to do to stop him from getting to that. Because if you take
a face off,
if you take a penalty, it does not matter. You have to kill off a penalty for what? 4 seconds?
But there's a draw.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, the draw would be deep in the Pittsburgh zone, and who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares with that much time? Take him down.
Yeah.
At least get in his way.
Well,
at least slow him a little bit.
But see, the thing is that if you do take him down, if you literally just throw your stick at him and trip him, there's going to be another time lapse between the time where that player loses the puck and the Penguins actually touch it up to get the penalty actually called, like to stop play. Like anything else would have been better at that point than what happened. And literally anything else.
So the player then goes around Rust way too easily.
Yes.
And then Erik Karlsson, who's behind Rust, kind of caves in a little bit himself. And Karlsson, now, to be fair here, we're looking at the clock. They're playing hockey.
Right.
So, yes, people are on your bench. They're yelling, 3, 2. They're trying to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's an understanding of how much time there is, but it's still not the same thing.
No.
So we can say, well, Karlsson shouldn't have tried to intercept that pass. But that's not fair to him. He's stomach down, he's eating ice.
Right.
He's not thinking about what the clock says. He's just going with instinct. And then the goaltender is sprawled out like he lost his contact lens, he's trying to find something somewhere on the ice. I don't know why. He's face down. There has not been a shot on goal. There has not been a shot attempt. All you got to do is stand there.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit chill. He's not.
No, he's not chill. I think we've kind of seen enough of that. I mean, even whenever he's made some really awesome saves, like I think about the save he made in New Jersey. They lost that game in a shootout too, but I think about that game and he made an incredible save that, again, it wasn't
safe.
But it wasn't like a typical like goalie gets down the butterfly, shifts over and slides over and snatches it with the glove or anything. It was kind of this sprawling out type thing. And you can make some great saves sprawling out, but are you going to consistently make saves that way?
Your default mode is to not make the first move as the goaltender,
Right.
which, by the way, is what kills him on shootouts. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Not that we're talking about last night's game. So Shilov's is sprawled all over. Carlson is sprawled all over. And the puck just goes in.
Yeah.
Where did this one go here? I saw something in our live chat here I wanted to put up. Yeah, Ethan McClellan says, Money Puck had the Penguins winning that game 95% of the time. No, you win that game 101% of the time.
Yeah.
It's virtually impossible for the other team to do what they did, meaning go from behind the Anaheim, never mind the whole power play thing. And
Right.
all I have left on this subject is Muse's self-defense, that these are the guys we use.
Yeah.
These are the guys we use. I got an idea, Chris. This isn't going real well with these blown leads late.
No, it's not.
Maybe change that.
Yeah.
Maybe say I've got Achari, I've got Dewar, I've got guys who can make defensive plays.
Yeah.
Now, it would be nice if you had Blake Lizotte.
It'd be great if you had
really
Lizotte.
nice if you had Lizotte. But also, who are your top defensive-minded defensemen this season? Who are they? Well, over the season, I mean, Parker Wotherspoon's been really good. Ryan Shea had one of the better games of his career.
He had a great game
last night. Wasn't on the rink at the end. Crazy, but true, and we're going to give credit here. We're due. The pairing of Ryan Graves and Connor Clifton, their advanced analytics were through the roof. Now, they get protected a little bit.
Yeah.
But not much. Not much. Their shot attempts for and against when they were on the ice were 21-5.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what we were looking at this, excuse me, at the stats before we went live. Some of the possession stats in the shot for, shot against,
staggering.
Were
Penguins
staggering
had
in the game.
91 shot attempts in this game and lost.
Yeah.
And lost.
Yeah. They had no business losing that game. That's what's really frustrating about it. And I think you pointed it out on Daily Shot of Penguins this morning too, is that they've lost so many of these games in a shootout or even overtime.
7.
Right. And you said it on Daily Shot of Penguins. You win half of those. You're first
You're
in
the
the
top
conference.
team in the conference.
Right.
You're just shy of the Avalanche and the
Stars.
the Stars for top teams in the league.
Yeah.
Because of the stupid overtimes and shootouts.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, how many of these, because I don't know the number off the top of my head, but how many of those overtime / shootout losses have come because you blew a lead late in the third period? Well, that's another part of this too. It's not just about getting to, oh crap, we blew a lead, but now we have to salvage it in overtime or a shootout. Like, no, because when you're getting there, you're losing. How about you don't lose the lead in the third period in the first place?
Chad Moore says that Muse's explanation was one of convenience. If he had gone to the hot hand and they lose, he says, I'm just playing my gut. I don't know too many people who would criticize a coach for just playing the gut. This isn't baseball. And even then, we praise baseball managers when they go with the gut.
No, right.
Okay,
Right.
we do.
Yeah.
In this case, I really think it's just common sense. And one of the things that, and we have to remember respectfully, that Muse is a rookie head coach. He's learning along the way.
Right.
Because of who's around him and what's in that building, there's going to be a whole lot of let's go with this. And he's brand new, and he's going to go, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what the numbers say. This is what the analytics say. This is what the video says. It's your bench, dude.
Yeah.
It's your bench. If you say to yourself, they're not scoring if Ryan Shea's on the rink tonight, with the way Shea is playing, you go for it.
Yeah.
You put Sid out there. Sid, because you wanted to win a draw. which he
did. Which he did.
And you say, here's Sid, Dewar, and Achari. Sid wins the draw. I understand this is hindsight, except it's not.
Right.
And I would still have Carlson out there. I really would, because he's just been so good everywhere in the skating and everything. Okay,
Carlson Wotherspoon or Carlson
and his regular partner.
Yeah.
Okay. I would not have Letang out there, even though Letang had nothing to do with the goal against. We're looking at this as if it was beforehand.
Right.
Because you have a lefty, you can clear, you have an easier time defending when they come into your zone.
Yep.
The whole thing, Chris, the whole thing. Just say, hey, if I had to do it over again,
I do it different, yeah.
I'd do it differently. We all would.
Yeah.
You can use one of those. But don't be that coach or manager who their you know what doesn't stink. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to do that. You need to understand that there's a right way to do this. There wasn't the right way to do it. I mean, again, not to beat a dead horse here, but there was 17 and a half seconds to go.
Short-handed.
Yeah.
It was short-handed on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get the goalie off.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You'll never see that again.
Seriously. Like
in NHL history.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it either.
Crazy stuff here. Matthew Bunk says that Tristan Jarry should have been in there for the shootout. Can't you go to your backup goaltender? Better chance for them to win. I'll get to that one in a second. But I feel like it's necessary to point out that when we're talking about the Penguins in the shootout, we are not just talking about Shilovs. We're talking about a team that doesn't score much.
No, and to Muse's credit, he at least tried a couple different guys last night. Like he had Novak and Koivunen out there. I mean,
and Koivunen, he keeps trying the same move because it worked in an AHL game a month ago.
Well, that's what I said when we started talking about other guys who need to try shootouts. I brought up Koivunen, but I said you got to do more than one move.
The little soft little backhand tuck.
I mean, it's a cool move. It's a nice move, and it might work every now and then.
When it works, it looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. But
you go 3 in a row?
Yeah, Pavel Datsyuk did not do the Datsyukian every single time.
He should have.
He should have, but he didn't because he also had a complete arsenal of different Datsyukian dekes that he could. Yeah, it wasn't just the same move that made Thomas Vokoun look like an idiot. You know, it was a bunch of different moves that he had.
But this is what gets me about the shootout, and this is why I feel like it needs to be practiced way more than they do. First thing is, coaches, and to a lesser extent players, but especially coaches, have no use for the shootout. They don't make any secrets of that. Mike Sullivan used to openly speak of it with disdain. It's not really hockey. It almost as if the point didn't count.
I was going to say it's points in the standings.
It's still a point in the standings.
Yeah.
And you would prioritize a whole lot of things over that.
Yeah.
By saying that. So you don't practice it. You don't get creative with it. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just, Sid goes and takes that same shot. The one where he holds up, whatever. He didn't even listen to me criticizing Sidney Crosby. It sounds ridiculous, okay? But what you don't see from the Penguins, I'll stop on that one. You don't see something that fools the goaltender.
No.
You don't see something that makes the other goalie look silly. All of these shootout attempts last night, including Novak. What was Novak supposed to be?
I have no idea.
What was he even trying to do?
I have no idea.
Sid's going to go with the glove hand shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to beat you to the glove hand. He wants you to drop your glove, and when he thinks you've dropped your glove, then he's going to go over.
Right.
Well, it's not like they don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the rest of these, you go back to some of the ones that Gino had a great shootout goal earlier this season, but for the most part, Gino will do the same thing. He's skating down the rink as if he's just trying to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah, you don't go in with a plan of attack. You just,
How about a plan of attack, Chris, that's specific to the goaltender? How about all these analytics people, the 5 billion people that Dubas hired, put together some kind of book? Hey, who are we facing tonight?
Right.
Oh, okay, it's Ville Husso. Well, he's been in the league for a while. How many shootout attempts has he faced between his career in St. Louis and now in Anaheim? How many has he seen? Okay, which shots have beaten him? Here's the book, gentlemen. if and when we go to a shootout tonight and you have an assistant coach that's responsible for it, there's a little period of time between the overtime and the shootout, bring your 3 shooters over and say, this guy can't stop a backhander to save his life.
Right. Yeah.
Is that happening?
No,
it can't be.
No,
it can't be.
It can't be because, again, if you practiced it, if you put thought into it, if you put game planning into it, you wouldn't be this bad at it. Seriously, and again, no, it's not real hockey. And no, by the time you get to the playoffs, you don't have shootouts anymore. Then it goes your typical continuous overtime.
Still helps to be kind of good on breakaways and to stop breakaways.
It does, but
remember that Shilovs can't do either.
Right.
Meaning he's not good at shootouts or standard one-on-ones and breakaways as we saw earlier this season.
Yeah. But the reason why I bring that up is, like, I think maybe that's why coaches are like, listen, because by the time we get to the playoffs, it doesn't matter. But in order to get to the playoffs or get a better seeding in the playoffs, you got to get the points in the regular season. You got to play the game. And you can sit there and complain and be like, well, it's not real hockey. But, okay, take that up for the next time the CBA gets negotiated or whatever needs to happen in order to take the shootout out of hockey, whatever it is. That it's not going to be solved in 2025-26. Right now, you got to get points in shootouts, and the Penguins have given up far too many points in shootouts, and they're now in a wild card spot instead of being at the top of the conference because of it.
You know, we're not talking about last night's game here on the program today. We're talking about the Habs. They're in tomorrow night.
Yep.
However,
long homestand coming up, by the way.
However, if we were to continue talking about last night's game,
yeah,
we could offer a couple of positives and a couple of actually outrageously glowing positives.
This show would have been so much different if they just don't lose it with a tenth of a second to go, because the positives out in a vacuum, the positives outweigh the negatives by a wide margin.
How about the kid line? How about them registering 11 shots on goal at 5-on-5?
Yeah.
How about them being on the rink for 6 high danger chances for 0 against?
0 against. It's not just the fact that they're playing well in the offensive zone, but they didn't allow any high danger chances defending. Like, either because they were in the zone and playing good defense, or they just weren't allowing the other team to be in their zone.
Yeah.
Which, that's honestly the best defense, is keeping the puck 200 feet away from your own net. So, yeah.
Crazy stuff here.
Phenomenal game last night in so many ways.
MDI comes in with a $20 gift. Appreciate that, man.
Wow, thank you.
It says, I'm not a lip reader, but in the game against the Lightning last week when Tampa tied it up, the camera went to Sid on the bench, and it looked like he told Muse, this blank shouldn't blanking happen. Like I said, I'm not a pro lip reader. Great show, by the way. Just for that, for the rest of the show, Chris and I are just going to do this for you and see what it is that you have to
Let's
say.
definitely not do it, because then all you'll hear is the sound of our lips and saliva, and nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to do lip reading on Sid either here. If Sid has any discontent or dissatisfaction with the coaching, it's not known to me or really anybody else that I know.
Well, and while you're in the game, like while you're playing the game, things are said amongst players, player to player, coach to player, player to coach.
Yep.
All the time.
The time.
And said with passion and sometimes with anger, because you're in the middle of competition and you're trying to win the game that you're playing. It doesn't mean that when you get to the locker room the next day for practice that Sid's still skating around. This bleep shouldn't happen. He's still angry and stuff about it and carrying a grudge.
It is a lingering trait of this team to give up late goals and to give up leads. It's the last one I feel that's left to cross off the list from Muse's predecessor, because this was happening under Sullivan for a couple of years.
Yeah.
These last-minute goals and whatever. They, as a coaching staff, really as an organization, need to come to grips with this. What they're doing in this specific regard isn't working.
No.
The players that they're deploying, the strategies that they're utilizing. I'm going to throw another one at you. When Anaheim came out of the zone, it was, as I mentioned, something that was begun by the Anaheim defenseman circling behind the net. Chris, I can tell you that the Penguins have a specific formation for that. It's a clear as day 1-2-2. They are going to make it hell for you to get through the neutral zone.
Yeah.
This was not hell
No.
for the Ducks. Okay, this was, there's our net. Just get it there and we'll throw it in the net for you.
Yeah.
That tells me to a large extent that you had players on the rink who were not doing that instinctually. And I'm going to keep coming back to Dewar and Achari as if they're Hart Trophy candidates.
You're right.
All right?
I mean,
but they don't have to think about doing that.
No.
It's their reason for existing.
right. Yep.
It's
Playing
do
within structure,
something,
yeah.
do something different. Earlier in this regular season, if you'll recall, the Penguins were really good at protecting leads, in large part because they kept attacking. Well, sometimes you can't attack.
No, you can't. You have to be able to, and again, this is a perfect example of when to not attack. You don't want to ever, you don't want to make yourself vulnerable. Like ever. You cannot make yourself vulnerable, even with 17 seconds to go. You have to be able to, like, no matter what, we're going to be solidified in our own end. And then obviously you want to be able to press. If you can win the face-off, you get the puck into the corner, you waste 7, 8, 9 seconds, however much you can, by just pinning everything against the boards, like you talked about, dumping into the corner and just doing that. And that is more instinctive hockey for the Noel Acharis and the Connor Dewars of the world. That's not saying Brian Rust can't play defense. He kills penalties. But, yeah, no, you can't send maybe not your typical top power play unit, but guys who play on the power play, you can't treat it like it's a regular power play. You just
Jeff says we're spoiled from watching the Flower and shootouts, and yeah, Flower was extraordinary at these things. Okay, because Flower also saw them as significant competition. He loved the action. He loved it. He thought it was a great big challenge. Him against another guy. He couldn't handle losing. You would see how upset he'd get whenever somebody would score.
Yeah.
Whereas when you go to talk to Shelovs after these games, it's like, yeah, but we played really well in the actual game. And no, man.
You got to get the point.
You lost the point.
Yeah.
You lost the point.
That shootout should be just as competitive as the rest of the game, the other 65 minutes that you played.
You lost the point. You know, Ethan points out here, he says, that overall, the Penguins played phenomenal last night. That ending just sours the experience. Sure it does.
It sours everything because
everything.
Instead of getting the 2 points that you deserve to get, you only get one of them.
And it's tired.
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's tired.
This isn't an outlier.
Listen, if they had won that in the shootout, ask yourselves this, seriously. If they had won that game the Penguins had in the shootout, how awesome would you feel today? You wouldn't be going over 91. You'd still be talking about that 10th of a second.
Yes, you would. Absolutely.
And you should be.
Yeah.
Because that has to stop. There has to be a moment in time where you just say, listen, this thing that we're trying to do isn't happening for us. And we're not going to become the hockey team that we want to be if we just keep blowing leads like this.
Mike brings up an interesting question. With Poulin going down, could that mean that Bros will be the next recall?
Well, I mean, Poulin didn't play, so he
wouldn't
be
be
replacing anybody.
No,
and Bros could be your center instead of Dan Heinen. I didn't think Heinen was all that bad last night, but then Heinen's never that bad.
But we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, he just is.
But we talked about, like, I'd rather see Tristan Bros there than, that's who I'd rather see. I'd rather see Bros. I'd rather see the Bros all playing together. He doesn't like puns.
No, that's so bad. And it's really indefensible on top of everything else.
I don't know. The 10th of a second joke at the beginning of the show was pretty good.
It was not.
It sets up everything that we're going to talk about because that's all we talked about.
You think your own jokes are good, man. Can you imagine the comedian afterward on the stage just going, "Hey, everybody, laugh! That was funny." Now, this was bad. They do have, as Carlson adroitly worded it last night, 2 days to sulk over this, and then they have to get ready for another very fast, mostly young team.
Yeah.
you'd love to be able to go into, this is something I was talking about, all 5 of these games on this homestand, and that was just the first, feature opponents that are young and fast at their core. Just name every one of them, and you can associate young, fast, skilled players with them. Okay, because I think in order it goes Anaheim, Montreal, who's Saturday?
San Jose is Saturday.
San Jose with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith and those guys. Utah is in with our own Logan Cooley in there.
Yeah,
And the young players that they
If
have.
Cooley's going to be in there.
Well, we'll see. And then, of course, the fastest player who's ever played is in next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you have nothing but speed and everything else. So you set the template last night for exactly how you needed to play. And then you do that.
Yeah. It's bad.
They have to shake it off. And the only way to shake off something like this, in all seriousness, is to just go right back on the horse.
Well, you have to.
You have to.
I mean, if this team shows any signs of continuous sulking going into Thursday night, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. I mean, and to this team's credit, it doesn't seem like they've allowed certain losses to get under their skin. That they've seemed to be able to shake off some of these. It hasn't been perfect. They haven't been able to bounce back every single time. But this is still a team that's gotten a lot more points this season than we were expecting so far. So
and there's so many positives and everything, and you hate to do this, but there it is. Like Daniel says, and I think this is correct here. He says the attitude about the shootout wouldn't be so irritating if they were winning closer to 50 or even 40%. I would say that it would if even they were winning 20%. They lose all of them.
every single one.
And they've been losing them for years. They've now lost. Everyone's talking about the 5 this year. It's now 9.
Yeah.
If you go back to the last season, if you include those games, they've lost 9 of these in a row, and the number is way bigger than that if you stretch 9 out of whatever.
Right.
The last 30 or something like that. It's not good.
No.
And they have to take care of it.
They do.
Get silly. Have practices. This is the Dan Bilesma. He would end all of his practices with the shootout.
Yep.
And they would have, they called the mustache boy. They would have this contest, and everybody, even the defensemen, everybody was participating. And they would encourage you to go in there and try some silly stuff. Get creative. Don't just go in there and just put it right into the dude's pads.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, talk about all the things from those Bilesman teams, especially after they had won the Cup in 2009. But that was one thing that I think he always did well was he kept that team loose. He didn't have that team thinking about
You're right.
about too many. I feel like if this team gets into a shootout, they're so wound tight that they're not going to be able to get it done. And it completely negates skill at that point. And that's way too bad because again, this is a team that is playing a lot better than we expected them to, and you don't want to see the reason why they possibly don't get into the playoffs or clinch a top 3 spot in their division is because I can't say they crapped away so many of these.
But they
games,
flipped their nose up. At the shootouts. Don't be.
It's points.
That's They were off today. They were doing their annual children's hospital visits. Tomorrow they'll be back on the ice for a full skate.
Yeah.
Use the entire skate. You're still skating. I mean, you do a little bit to get the legs loose and whatever else.
Of course.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
just do shootouts.
Yeah.
Just do shootouts. Our last entry for the day. Well, Ethan points out here real quick, Achari was a beast last night. Achari was very, very good. Achari was nailed to the bench when he was needed. And then JD mentioned something that a lot of people mentioned. They really don't like Letang's role in the third goal. When I said something like that part wasn't his fault, I was referring specifically to from the blue line in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that remark got a little bit misconstrued. There is every fault of everybody all over the rink. I mentioned Novak. It's just so bad.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe outside of Sid for winning the faceoff at least. But yeah, no, it's When something like that happens, you have to look at all 6 guys on the ice, and then you have to look at the coach behind the bench too.
Mike wants to know, anybody know where Eric Christensen is? Eric Christensen with his 70% conversion rate, because he had an arsenal that was unlimited, because he existed for the shootout.
Mm-hmm.
That was a crazy thing that got him his time for the most part in the NHL.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
You can't just leave it to the children.
No.
And then for that matter, for anybody who's asking about why Kindle isn't getting used or these other guys, they've never taken shootout attempts.
Mm-hmm.
You can look up their history. Kindle wasn't taking them with the Calgary Hitmen.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Practice it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Kindle over what we saw last night.
It's true. Seriously, they've got to come up with actual solutions. Now, again, I'm glad that they at least went with a couple of guys in Novak and Koivunen that aren't mainstays in that 3-man rotation, 3 guys that they have out there every single time. But again, if Koivunen's just going to go out there and do the same move every single time, then
have a seat,
okay,
son.
yeah, go,
have a seat.
Go back.
David Harr, for the 2nd consecutive show, gets banned for life. This one's really going to stick, David, because he says, why don't hockey players like baking? Because they always get caught icing. Goodbye to everybody, but goodbye to David for all eternity, until the Penguins win a shootout. Don't forget to jump over to our DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel for a double shot of Steelers in just a couple minutes.